Well, you know, the funny thing about it is the history that we're being taught is what I call twistery. It's been twisted. And what we were here on this continent before the time of the captivity, I call it, um, was not what they're talking about as far as slavery and what it is that we, you know, that we went through, and the way that the Pope had created through the Reconstruction. He gave out a command that none of the true history of North America would ever be told. So there were no such thing as the Indians. Indios came from the fact that the Indus River up in India. So anything that had to do with black was known as Indios. So anything with color, copper tone people, were called Indians. But the Indians that you see today, and I defy them to actually, you know, refute this, because it will be refuted. Those are the Mongols that came over the Bering Strait Bridge down through northern Canada or the northern Western Hemisphere, and came down into what we knew as the Americas as migrants and invaders. The true autochthonous peoples here were black and copper toned peoples. Even the Spanish conquistadors, when they first came, said that. We even have a knowledge of Mansa Musa sent over
Yeah.
200 ships over here that landed in the Gulf of Mexico, or Mexico, as my good brother Horace Butler spoke about. Meshi was the name of who it was that was named after, and Ko meant the land. So there was the king, who was the black king, and the land. So when Mansa Musa sent those ships over there and they landed in that area, you know, it was like, you know, they sent back another ship, and Mansa Musa said, "Well, where is everybody?" He said, "Well, Your Majesty, they didn't want to come back." He said, "There's a fertile land there," and so forth. And even the so-called Mayans, the light-skinned Mayans, were saying that their fathers were the people that they call the Tamoancan. The Tamoancan were what they call the Olmecs today. The Olmecs was meant rubber people, and that was a name given to them by by the head of the Indian Museum, the American Indian Museum. That's not what their names was. They would have called it Tamoancans, the great ones from on high, and that's the ones that they dug up during the so-called uncivil war in I think it was 1862 or 1862. They found the Olmec head, but they had to shut that down because just north of where they found that head, there was these subhumans that they were calling Negro, niggers, and so forth. And
Yeah.
then Negroid face down here. So we have a confusion about what really happened here in the Americas. We are dealing with three different constitutions. We have the de jure constitution, which you and I wrote, and I'm saying that based on the fact that we were the ones, the first 13 colonies were black. They weren't these Europeans you see here. We were the ones breaking away from the black nobility in England. And the people that you see coming in here who are rushing from Europe, they were working for us. They still use our flag as a flag of freedom. The flag that you see flying up there with the 5 stars, the 5-pointed star, that was changed. Our flag was the 6-pointed stars, had 48 6-pointed stars up and down. The true history of this continent is not being told.